Okay, so welcome back to part 2 of this demonstration of the All Test and UK Drug Testing DSD-863 6-drug saliva direct test. This test cassette has just been, I put it in my mouth and saturated it with saliva on the test, and rather than leaving it in my mouth, I've taken this out, resheathed it and put it down on this surface so you can see the pink dye that will osmotically be pulled down towards those control lines and run the test. Now, as we mentioned in part 1, this can be left in the donor's mouth for the time that the dye is running until the control lines show, or it can be removed if you consider you've got adequate saliva in there. It's going to make no difference to the test results. Beauty is that if you think the person is trying to avoid giving you an adequate sample by keeping it dry or whatever, you can basically hold them there and know once those control lines come up that adequate saliva has been added for both sides of this column to run. Both columns will run instantaneously, more or less at the same speed with this design. There's no twisting of the saliva, there's no collection of the saliva, there's no decanting of the saliva. So in terms of the procedure that you as a tester have to follow to run these drug tests, it's simplicity itself. In terms of the accuracy of these membranes, again, they are high quality CE marked in vitro diagnostic membranes, same membranes that are being put in the other designs of barrel and twist and other design saliva drug tests. So the accuracy on all these membranes is going to be between 97 and 99%. Selectivity and sensitivity wise, there's no difference, it's the same membrane being used. This design basically is the major advantage of this test in terms of its ease of operation. The sensitivities on these membranes are all standard all test membrane setups. We've got a list of that on the website showing you the nanogram sensitivities of these tests for cut-offs, and the detection window periods again is the same across the range of all test and saliva test membranes. So I'm going to try and focus in on that test window now, because we've got a nice clear control line. We've also got, remarkably, a negative result on all 6 drugs. And what we're going to do, if I can just focus in on that, I'm just going to move it into the centre of the screen so we'll hopefully get a decent focus. There we go, that's good. Okay. Now basically the interpretation of your drug test results obviously is looking at the membrane run with a control line indicating that the control procedures are completed and the membrane has run beyond the control line from the source of the saliva. And then you're looking for the presence or absence of test lines against the drug abbreviations. And this is negative binding technology, so if there is drug in the sample at above or at the cutoff level indicated by that membrane test, you will get no test line forming against the drug abbreviation to indicate a positive result. A line forming against the drug abbreviation indicates a negative result. Now what we're going to point out to you here is there's a bit of variance in the test line, colour density, thickness and saturation, but these are all negative test results. That is absolutely normal. These membranes are all screening for different drugs at different cut-off levels in a single saliva sample. So there will be some variation between the test lines. You should not or would not expect them all to be the same colour, thickness and density as the control lines. So if we have a look at the COC membrane, perhaps that's the thinnest and faintest on this line, but it's still a clear negative result. Opiates is the probably strongest and thickest with amphetamine, still a clear negative result. What you must not try and do is interpret any clear or false indicators that you can draw from the colour density or thickness of the test line. Any test line in the presence of a control line indicates a clear negative result. Okay, that's very important. We do have multiple people always asking us, but the test line was really thin and really faint. Doesn't matter, it's still a clear negative. It wasn't just negative, it's a clear negative. You can't infer any levels of that drug by the colour density, thickness or saturation of the test line against it. You can only draw positive or negative results from these tests. Okay, so there you have it, the DSD-863 direct or tongue saliva 6-drug test. It's a great combination, it's a great little test, easy to operate, very little to go wrong, nice clear results, dead easy to operate within any setting. You don't need a full laboratory setup or a clinic setup to be able to run one of these tests in 5 to 10 minutes and get a clear indication of what's going on. So we think this is going to do very, very well. They're available now on UK Drug Testing and Drug Testing Kit, both websites selling these. The test is also one of the best value ones in the marketplace currently. So we think this is going to do, as I say, very well over the next 12 months.